Deathwatch.
Alright, hello and welcome back. I'm Justin. I am the lore keeper for the second episode of the One Ring one-shot called The Sacred Spring. So today we'll be picking up where we left off in Hobbiton, where Merrick Proudfoot, where did it go? Lenaith and Nur, son of Anur, had just arrived. Burgil, son of Underhill, is going to be following up with a relic that the elves had sent for. So, to introduce everyone, we'll start with Chris.
Hi, I'm playing Merrick Proudfoot, a miller, and like all millers, he is a psychopath and a bastard.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm Brandon, playing Nur, son of Honor, a dwarf who is quite different from any depiction of a dwarf you're likely to have come across, because I mostly swing my axe into things.
Is it like in a vertical arc instead of a horizontal arc?
Yeah, and I do different arcs.
Okay.
I'm Travis. I'm playing Lenaith, Elf of Linden and Warden of the lands north of the Shire, and I'm surrounded by small folk.
And I am John, playing Burgil, son of Adrahil, and I don't know if I'm going to deliver this elven relic. I might keep it for my own.
Excellent.
All right, so just for John's sake, the relic is a small stone, about the size of what we would see as a golf ball, that is porous and colored in kind of a pinkish hue. You may recognize it as a piece of coral.
Clearly, these elves don't know what they gave me.
So during the last episode, the group had agreed to try and find the source of a corrupted spring of power north of Hobbiton. They had been set on their task by Ithildur, who had investigated the area on where it was most likely to be the source, and found that it was likely up near Anuminus, an old ruined city on the banks of the what is the name of the
This is Chattahoochee, I think.
Lake Evendim.
Close.
And so the players were sent to seek him out by finding a merchant in Hobbiton that supplies him with whatever merchandise he needs to survive out in the wild. So they had reached here after a battle with some bandits on the bridge covering the Brandywine River. And Burgil, son of Adrahil, had stayed behind with Ithildur to bring this artifact to help purify the spring once it had arrived from back east. So we're going to pick up where we left off, where they had made their way to the Green Dragon in Hobbiton, and we're at the bar speaking of what their next move was.
Yeah, I think we were, what was it, thinking about heading towards a council of merchants?
Yeah, there was supposed to be a council. Tell us where the elf is.
Yeah, but we still are pretty sure that he's not real.
Mm-hmm.
So Merrick, you know that the Merchant Council actually meets in one of the back rooms of the Green Dragon here.
Okay. Well, they all meet in one of the back rooms back here. Don't worry, I can get us in. And I'll kind of down my, what do we got, tankards?
Yeah.
I'll down my tankard, kind of swagger, as much as a halfling can swagger back that direct. Well, maybe to the barkeep, ask if the merchants are meeting or if they're here.
Says, no, they're not meeting today, but they should, if you'd like, then we can set up a meeting for tomorrow. They usually, have regular meetings to hear whatever needs to be heard.
Yeah, do it.
All right, I'll let them know that you wish to speak to them.
I'll turn back around like I did something.
So
we'll be meeting with them tomorrow.
All right. So after you've had your rest, they he'd set you up with some rooms at the Green Dragon. If you'd like, there are baths available that wash off the road dust and
In Brandywine River water.
Gore.
No, I was talking about where they got the water from.
Oh.
actually, this little tributary that runs through Hobbiton isn't affected by the poison.
Well, that's lucky.
Yeah, it's the longer river that, passes under the Brandywine Bridge that was the tainted source.
Well, let's see. I will seek out some privacy.
Okay.
And I suppose I have a headache. I was concussed
Yes.
during our battle.
But more to the fact that you've been around small folk, which is probably the leading source of the headache.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I think that's what I'll do unless we have any other pressing matters.
Okay.
Enjoy your evening. And I'll make them angry by bowing my way out.
Okay.
Oh, that bow, you son of a...
Well, it makes it where your jaw's within reach now.
If you'd like to seek out, healing,
Oh,
you can do that as well.
is that possible?
Yeah. Yeah, you can find, since you're in a small village, you should be able to find a local town healer.
Okay,
Halfling
well.
town healer.
Yeah, let's do that then. Well, I suppose I should have somebody look at this wound and excuse myself, and then I'll head out into Hobbiton, start walking into hobbit holes.
And we never saw him again.
If you ask the bartender, he can point you in the right direction.
Oh, man. I'll walk back into the bar and I'll ask him, where is the healer?
I was about to walk into some houses, but decided to ask directions instead.
It's like, yes. If you head down to the marketplace, it's the last stall on the left. There's an herbalist there that should be able to treat your wounds.
Thank you. And I'll bow my way out the whole way.
He's going to be telling that poor healer how she's doing it wrong.
Well, she better have more
Hey.
than 2 pips and a check.
Mm.
So yeah, that's where I'll go, to the marketplace, and I'll see if I can get some healing.
Okay. Let's see here. So yeah, you end up coming across this elderly woman. Let's see, what was her name? Her name was Camellia.
Okay.
Camellia Goldworthy.
Greetings, good woman. I am Laniath, and I require healing if you would be kind enough to spare it.
Typo. She says, "Yes, of course. What seems to be ailing you, good elf? I'm used to I'm used to working on hobbits, but I am more than happy to assist you in whatever way I can."
I'll unwrap the bandage around my head. I took a
Fist-sized
fierce
knot.
blow crossing a bridge into Hobbiton. I did what I could, and I'll leave the butt hanging as I show her.
Okay. She says, "Oh, that's quite the wound. How did you happen to come by it?"
As I said, we were accosted crossing the Brandywine, right?
Yeah, that's unusual and a bit worrisome. Yeah, I should be able to patch you up. Do you have any objections to some numbing herbs or chewing on some herbs to help ease the pain as I sew that closed?
By all means.
So yeah, she gives you some herbs and pulls out some needle and thread with some catgut and gives a shot. She failed.
You don't know what you're doing.
Actually,
Camellia, you said her name was?
yeah. Oh, yeah, I see what happened. Yeah. Anyway, she bandages it up, sews it up, but
Failed to help me.
yeah, it doesn't reduce any of the time off, but your head doesn't throb anymore after the herbs that she gave you.
I shall remember this meeting, Camellia. Farewell, and I'll leave.
Okay.
There's an undercurrent of threat in the word remember.
Elves have long memories, too. I was there when your great-great-grandmother failed to patch up my skull.
All right. So as you guys are resting for the evening, Burgle, son of Adrahil, comes riding into town late into the evening, and he finds you at the Green Dragon. So, Burgle?
So, I missed that last session there. Who had asked me to go do this?
The person that had kind of got all of you to do this was Ithildir. He was the elf from back east that had been seeking out rumors of a poisoned water source.
Okay, and I believe that this item is the thing that's poisoning it. Is that?
The item you have is a purifying relic to
okay.
purify the water source.
Okay, so I'll come in and
Yeah.
who is downstairs? Or I guess who is in the inn right now? Are they all just drinking?
Well, that's up to them.
Well,
Lenath, I think he said he was going to find some solitude in his...
yeah, because I just to help with the wound. Because
What time of day is it?
You get there well after dark. So
Perfect. All right, so I'll open the door as my slender frame, muscular but slender frame fills the door, cowl pulled low over my face. I'll gaze out upon all the short people.
Yeah.
Okay. And you kind of have to duck a tiny bit to get through the door. Or at least it's that feeling where you're not sure whether or not your head will clear it, so you duck anyway.
I'll duck in and then stand in front of it. I was scanning the room.
Yeah,
What do my non-elf eyes see?
Well, you see a bunch of hobbits drinking and dancing and chatting and having fun. There's a small band playing some tavern songs off in one corner.
Am I immediately
small
jostled
band
aside?
double entendre.
Okay, good. Are either Merrick or Nur in the common room?
I'm probably on second or third dinner.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll just be smoking a pipe, watching the hobbits.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I'll be smoking a pipe.
All right. So yeah, they're lounging about at their ease. Lenath seems to be missing, but yeah, the other two people that you were sent to find are there.
All right, I will carefully pick my way across the room, being sure not to step on any of the small folk.
They're not that small, but so yeah, you cross the room and what do you say?
I'll ask where Lenath is.
Did we see you after you got your head bandaged up or patched up?
Well, I probably had to come back through the common room to go to wherever my quarters would be if I was able to get them.
He's back in his room somewhere. Doesn't like eating third or fourth dinners. Weird.
Was I given any instruction with this thing? Like, do we got to find wherever the source is, or do we just put it in the water? Or
Yeah, once you find the source where the sacred spring of Olmo is, you place the stone in the river source, and it will purify the water of any foulness that the orcs had done.
Okay, and was that why they were coming here before me, or while I went to get it, was to try and locate it?
Yeah, they're here to find the merchant that supplies an elf that lives in the area that should know where the source is.
Okay, so I'll take a seat after hearing that Lenath is. I'm sorry. Did you say that he was up in his room?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got
Alright.
bashed on the head pretty good. Been moping about it since.
Well, if he's still talking, then I imagine he'll be all right.
Yeah, but he's not quite his usual condescending self. I think something might really be wrong with him.
And when you were given the relic and sent off, you were told not to stop. So you actually started yesterday afternoon and rode through the night and on into today, and just finished this evening getting here.
Okay, as I'll try to order some food then. Imagine a little bit hungry.
Yeah.
It's probably supper time, right?
Yeah,
After
there's-
dark.
Well, it's always supper in Hobbiton, or lunch, or breakfast, or one of those meals.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a waitress that comes around and asks you what you'd like to eat and gives you a few options.
I will take one of those options.
Okay.
And a pint of ale.
As well, we don't have pints here, but we do have
quart
flagons.
flagon. You got it. One of those,
Small
please.
barrel.
Then I'll turn my attention to my two companions and ask if we've located the merchant.
Not yet. We're meeting with them tomorrow. But I'm telling you, this ranger doesn't live. There's no elf or ranger in Hobbiton or the surrounding area. So I don't know why we're even bothering. Should have just gone for it.
Well, we might as well exhaust the options first before we just go wandering about looking for this spring.
Did anyone want to mention being attacked or the fact that they had?
I think that he did mention it, so I will bring it up. I was going to wait until at least my drink or something got here, so wash down.
It only takes her a minute or two to put together a plate from what they have roasting over the fire and bring you your meal.
Depending on how
All
well
right.
the constable did, he might have rode his horse through the remains.
Yeah. Well, he probably rode past the constable dragging the bodies away.
So I'll ask, or after the ale arrives, I'll take a long pull from that flag and ask, how did the elf get his head injured? He said he took a bump on the head.
Yeah, he did. We
Nice.
encountered some humans on the Brandywine. They were looking for you, and that whatever it is you're supposed to be bringing. Not that they said that, but the dwarf here, he's pretty fearsome. I'm not going to mess with you.
Yeah, they were easy to beat, but the elf, of course, managed to get himself wounded.
Is it the humans that I saw the constable dragging away?
Those are
Most
the ones.
likely. I'll give a short description.
Hewn to limb from limb, blood all over the place. Yeah, that's them.
That's them.
Yeah.
As,
But we managed to take
your
one
axe
alive.
is fearsome, dwarf.
They were specifically hired to waylay us.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, don't waylay us, but they wouldn't listen.
One of the first
Your
rules of the
syntax
road.
was wrong.
Aye.
Syntax. Don't waylay me.
Well, that and the fact that they were actually waylaying us.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to be the one that's doing the waylaying if you want to use that.
Anyway, we made short work of them.
I'm sure that there will be more. As
Really?
someone doesn't go through the trouble of poisoning water supplies without some assurance that they won't just be returned to normal. Can I have the foretelling skill now?
The foretelling skill.
Yeah, just a new skill that I made up. But I have the foretelling, as you can see from that last interaction.
All right, so the rest of the evening kind of passes uneventful, and as you all rest in the common room of the Green Dragon, it's hard not to be caught up in a little bit of the merriment that, churns around you, and you find yourself relaxing and having a good time alongside everyone. Eventually, everyone makes their way either home or to their rooms, and the next day you have the mornings free to wander Hobbiton or...
Can I check on the elf before turning in?
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll answer the door, but I will try and knock.
The Nate.
Yes, I'll answer the door.
And now that you've had more
What was
professional.
your guys' name again? I forgot.
Sorry,
John?
what?
Your character's name?
Oh, Burgle?
Burgle.
Virgil, son of Adderhill.
Son of Adderall.
Yeah.
Um,
As,
And you're a of the race of man?
Yes, a ranger from the north.
Yeah. But yeah, you no longer have like big bandages on your head now that the wound has been cleaned and sewed shut. And
How am I feeling this morning?
Still night, I believe.
yeah, this is still night. And the herbs that she gave you is still working pretty well to keep the pain at bay.
Okay. I am doing well. Thanks for asking, Burgle.
Just wanted to make sure that you weren't injured too badly, as I just arrived a few hours earlier, as did the Murok and Nur told me a little bit about what happened, and I'll give him a kind of a brief rundown and ask him, is there anything else that you can remember, though?
That sounds like the long and short of it to me. It was just an ill twist of fate that I was injured so.
Yeah. One of them came up behind you and hit you from behind.
I'm glad to see that you're still among us. I'll offer my hand and forearm.
I'll take it, but it grosses you out a little bit.
Cold, clammy skeleton arm.
When I go into my room to go to bed, I'm going to wedge my shield under the door handle so nobody can break in.
Nice.
Okay.
Sure. That's
Why is the elf already there?
that's safe. That's out of character.
But after that, I'll leave him be. Tell him that I'll see him in the morning. We'll find that merchant and
I'll close
get
the
elf.
door, but only a crack remains in there. You see the glimmer of my eye as I watch him walk away.
Through the door?
The crack.
Through the crack in the door. All right.
And his eyes, when he blinks, they go sideways instead of up and down.
He's not really enough, is he?
Gotta break the conditioning.
No, I don't do that.
All right. So yeah, the next morning is yours to spend as you wish in Hobbiton, and the council meets after second breakfast. So yeah, and you're not the only ones that have petitions for him. There are a few other people that go and ask them for either leave for contracts for certain merchant routes and things of that nature that are trying to reach him. But eventually, it is your turn, and we are going to go into the council section of questing. So yeah, if you want to pull that up on the PDF, it's 105 in the book. It's 109 in 109 on the PDF.
Many meetings.
So the structure of it is they have a certain amount of resistance to your attempts to get information out of them. In this case, you are making a bold request to find the name and location of a merchant that's on the merchant council that you don't know their name. You just know one of their merchant routes. So what ends up happening is you each have a chance to speak to them using one of the skills, awe, courtesy, or riddle. And there will be a few rounds of this to see if you can convince them to give you the shot.
Who's going first?
I'm still trying to find it here. Said it was
There's
on
actually
page what?
106 for me in the PDF.
Yeah, 106 in the PDF.
109 was the tail
105.
end of it.
Yeah. Look at 104 in the PDF. If you
Yeah,
downloaded
mine
it.
is on 108. I'm using the online one. Is probably why.
Yeah, but look at the page number on the page versus in the
Oh, I
PDF
see.
viewer.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, the initial speaker sets how many rounds you guys have to try to convince them.
Well, I got 2 pips if you guys go with me.
I got 2 and a check in courtesy.
I got 3 and a check in awe.
Just go up there, slam your axe against your shield.
I am going to warn you that using awe, depending on how you frame it, could end up with a negative bonus die.
I don't have
If you
any
use
courtesy.
it as a form of intimidation, it's going to come negative
Okay.
because they don't particularly like being bullied.
We could also use riddle, and the riddle could be, how much gold am I going to give you if you just give me the information so I can get out of here?
Yeah.
Well, so should we let the Hobbit start us off, and then we can come in with the awe?
Yeah.
And I'll give you a bonus die
Okay.
on that as well, since you are a known merchant in the area and well respected by the community.
Yeah. So I'll walk up and greetings, fellow merchants and councilmen. You all know me. I'm Merrick Proudfoot, and I'm here to ask you if you know the whereabouts of a merchant who's been dealing with an elvish ranger. It's supposed to be in Hobbiton. And what did it do? Failure.
Okay.
Almost though.
So that means you have the number of rounds equal to the resistance, which is 6.
Okay. Apparently, someone skipped second breakfast. They're all cranky.
And but yeah, the council hears your comments, and one of them speaks up. You recognize him as Erling Brandybuck, and he says, we know of a merchant that deals with an elf and some of the rangers of the north that occasionally pass through the lands north of Hobbiton. But what business is it of yours? This is merchant business. This has nothing to do with you.
We just want to meet with him.
For what reason?
We got to ask him some questions. We're trying to go fix the brandy wine.
Time for the dwarf.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
Now is when we start into the 6 rounds of you guys making your arguments, and so
yeah, that's a good place for me to cut in. And so I'd like to, for my skill, what I want to do is use because it's my career is guarding merchant caravan.
Mhm.
So, as for what we want to talk to them about, that, I can say, and I could sort of go over some of my past experiences guarding the products that are exported from here, right? Put myself in their favor and say that, as such, we're seeking this person to talk about this, shipments and things like that, right?
Okay. All right. So now during the interaction phase, after we've established how many rounds, let's see. So yeah, you can use enhearten, insight, persuade, riddle, or song in order to try and sway them.
Well,
So yeah, you guys can decide which 6 of you are going to make these rolls, and so it sounded like you were going to make the first roll.
that's before you said what
Oh,
skills.
we're switching. Well, I
Yeah,
can't.
the awe, courtesy, and riddle are to determine
How long we have.
yeah how long you have, and yeah,
All right.
then the others are used to convince them.
What is it? Insight, persuade, and
Yeah,
riddle?
it's on the next page down, 107 in the book.
I got 2 in those, but no check, and I got 3 in riddle with a check. But I don't know how riddle would. I think it would work on.
I have a song about ancient times in the area that's relevant to it. That's what I'll come in with.
Okay.
Come on, Lord of the Rings, Chris.
Damn.
I have to be
elves.
right back, though. I can't hold it any longer.
Okay. So yeah, we'll save his song for a few moments. Does anyone have good enhearten, insight, persuade, riddle?
I got song at 2 as well. Like I said, like riddle's my best if we're gonna go with that. But
Okay. So yeah, you can use it as a you're just asking pointed questions to them to try and lead them to the thought process you
It
want.
says, rely on riddle when you're forced to talk about a subject, but want to conceal part of what you know.
I think I'll go more with the business side of it, like what, improving business relations type of thing.
Okay.
Is how I'll kind of go for it, with kind of putting the onus on them, like where is this going to go wrong if I can bolster more business from it for you, for me, for type of thing. So that's how I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, make your roll.
All right, no bonus die.
We'll give you 1 bonus die. You are a hobbit talking to hobbits, so they like you. All right. So you got a great success.
So +3 is my strength. So, bam.
Well, that counts as 2 points towards convincing them.
Okay.
Since you got the great success, and you got 1 for the success, 1 for the
Great success.
for being great. So yeah, they listen to your talking about the business prospects, and some of them seem to kind of agree with you that this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but
And I guess the riddle part will be me like trying to kind of not be immediately out front with it, kind of like a polite business etiquette, I guess.
yeah.
And also maybe trying to keep the brandy wine, like play down the brandy wine stuff
Okay.
a little bit.
But yeah, after your speech, of course they're going to come back, and Hampson took another one of the council members. He comes back and he says, "Well, that's all fine and good, but why this merchant? Why now? Why should we reveal a merchant who has faithfully dealt with these people, and instead, why can't you deal with one of us?"
Well, you'd be getting a cut.
I say we always get a cut of every merchant. That's how the
Then
merchant
what's the
council
problem?
works. Well, this merchant, has his dealings below the rest of.
You're going to get a cut from me. You're going to get a cut from the merchant. You're getting a cut twice now. I think you're doing well.
So
here.
are you trying to bribe us? Is that what your intent is?
It's not a bribe if it's a cut.
Sure sounds like a bribe.
No, a
All right.
bribe is...
So on to the next round. So whoever wants to take the second round, he tried to appeal to them on the nature of business. Didn't really mention the poison.
Yeah, I'll generate a song on the spot called "The Ruin of the Baron Duin."
I kind of want to make you make out the song,
You
but
got to help me because I need a little bit of time. So what's our?
make the roll and we'll see how good it is. And then if it's bad, then
Well, it's an ancient song about, we'll say, like a battle that occurred in this area. Because this, like, north was where, like, Angmar and such were back in the day. And it just was near the river, the Baron Duin. And that's what it's about. But I guess the purpose of it is that it alludes to greater deeds than the small folk of Hobbiton are aware, and that perhaps they should trust in those with long memories
okay.
and far-seeing eyes, is what I'll close with after. Because I'll pierce through the argument with my clear singing voice. Here it goes. Let's see how we do.
And song isn't necessarily, you singing. It can also be you reciting an ancient history or something like that.
I've read Tolkien.
Okay.
Failure figures.
All right. So yeah, they listen to your argument.
What's the elf doing?
And it's like,
Fail.
He busts out a rap, and they're like, "This
The ruin of Barad-dûn.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I'll kind of just stand there and be like,
yeah. Doderick Smallborough, he says, "That's quite the fine song, Master Elf, but I don't see how it has anything to do with
business.
the business of us revealing this merchant's identity."
Hey, I guess with everything going on, the only thing potentially useful I have here is insight. So, like, I want to use insight, just watching and being silent. I'm going to see if I can identify, who is the greatest resistance to giving us what we want here.
Sounds good. All right, make your roll.
Yeah.
For some reason, I picture hobbits trying to bribe each other as that scene
So
from
close.
Naked Gun, where he's like, it's going to cost you that type of information. So he's like, hands him a 20, and he's like, all right, here's this information, but why do you want to know? And the cop's like, well, that's going to cost you if you want to know. And so he hands the 20 back.
All right. So yeah, the dwarf wasn't able to key in on which ones are most resistant and why. So he says a few things trying to counteract, their arguments, but they still remain fairly resistant to helping. So yeah, you've got 3 more rounds.
I like to picture that the This is like a true battle for Merrick, and it's drenched in sweat. He's looking like Frodo after the climb up Mount Doom.
Well, mechanically, all I can do is add in some more songs. So, what about Burgle? Did he try anything yet?
No, he hasn't tried anything yet.
What do you got for us, Burgle?
No social skills.
No,
Yeah, I don't have any. No. I can either, well, I guess I got one in awe, but that's it.
Yeah, he really is not
I'm not the talking type.
not set up for that. So yeah, not everybody has to talk. You can put your face, the face forward.
Right, yeah. We apparently do not have a face.
Well, so far
He's a
Merrick
riddler
is-
and a persuader.
Riddler works for business negotiation as well, where we're trying to obfuscate the
Right, the
actual
facts.
intent. Yeah.
yeah.
So
But yeah, you guys can convene and discuss if you want to change your tactics.
All right, that was a good attempt.
yeah, we back up and huddle.
I
Yeah,
think you got to change the genre up. They
if
don't
you-
like.
I'll give you a chance to do an insight roll.
All of us, or just
Everyone can do an insight roll. Actually, let's see what other skills you might be able to use for that. So we'll do insight, awareness, or scan to get a bonus die in the next round.
Okay, scan and which one?
I missed by one.
Was it persuade or awareness?
I succeeded.
Insight.
Awareness, insight, and scan.
All right, I can keep going at him from the business point, but we're going to actually have to start paying out if we keep going this route.
I got a great success with my awareness.
And I know that I can already tell that our dwarf friend here is white knuckling his purse. It might end in bloodshed if he has to open it.
You don't gotta get permission from a corpse.
Looks like I lost my connection.
All right. So yeah, with all of those, you notice that there are really only two detractors in this that seem to be against it. Everyone else seems to have been convinced with your first argument, and so those ones seem more intent on keeping it a secret, just because they don't know why you want to speak to them. So yeah, you can change your tactics or.
Yeah, so it's those two over there, and they want to know why. I think that's why we're not getting anywhere with them. So we either reveal it or we make up something that's more valuable to them than having the merchant be secret.
Yeah, were we under any orders to keep our mission a secret?
No, and it's not really a secret that that the brandy wine is
Poisoned.
yeah that something's gone wrong with it.
Yeah, maybe we'll just tell them the truth.
So
I think that's the only way we can go forward.
That's the best way here.
yeah, we'll give you.
I'll burst out. Your water is poisoned.
They know the water's poisoned. It's the why we're here, which is to take care of it.
yeah, with two great successes on
that's
those,
why we're here. Your water is. I'm not very good at social skills.
we'll give 2 bonus die to you next time to whoever goes next.
You guys are trying to wreck my reputation here and my brogue. All right. Well, me and my friends here, if truth needs to be known, is that we're trying to do something about the brandy wine and its stagnation.
And one of the two detractors kind of perks up a little bit. Yeah, you see Reginald Baggins. He was one of the detractors, and
It's always a Baggins or a talk.
you know that he has some land near the brandy wine. So
At this point, I'm getting kind of desperate. I'm losing sheep, and so I'm just trying to really do anything. And so I went and I talked to some of these people. Where is it? In Brie?
Yep.
In Brie, and was it an elf?
yeah,
Elf said that he might have had some way to fix it and sent me back here to help them out, lead them in the direction. We just need to find this merchant so we can find the ranger, and the ranger can lead us to the point.
so make your roll.
All right, with +2.
Yep.
Twink. You better.
All right. So yeah, they are closer, but yeah, there's still a little bit of like that last one holdout. He's saying, but why do you need to know the merchant's name? Why can't you just follow the brandy wine to its source and solve it that way? So yeah, on to the next round.
That was my idea.
Well, yeah, I guess I could try my riddle to, like, let them know why we need to do it this way without telling them why we need to
I
do it
forget
this
why
way.
we need to do it this way. It's because it's not just the point, right? It's a specific part of the source.
Yeah, and and most of the hidden springs are pretty well hidden.
You ever walk the Brandywine? You're gonna need a guide for that.
So yeah, next round of attempts to sway them. We'll give you a +1. All right.
Nice.
Nice. So yeah, they say, okay, we understand why you may need a guide, but why do we have to tell you this one? Why can't the elf that's with you? Surely he knows. Like after that song, surely he knows enough of the area to be able to find this
Just had to go and sing, didn't
this
you?
spring. So one more turn. I'll give you another +1 or a +2 for Merrick.
You know what? I have a 3 in bows.
Well, I could do some more verse that's insulting about little people with little minds. Maybe make them feel small and petty.
I'll give you a -1 for that one if you want to go with it.
Oh, I should do it. Let's do it. This is what role playing is all about. Because my idea was to follow the Brandywine anyway. So, but I'm patient. Dang it, I'm patient. I wouldn't do such. I'll bite my tongue for now.
Merrick, you want to give it one last shot?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, with the +2.
Well, if you're willing to just bypass the merchant and take us to the range, I'm more than willing to go with that. Friend. Starting to throw out the...
Feat success. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, they say, well,
willing to risk going through those wilds.
I say, well, yes. You make a good point. There's only one man that really knows the landscape up there to safely traverse it. So,
and we're losing animals and crops. It's bad for business.
I see your point. We see your point. Yes, this is beginning to affect the entire village. All right. Yes, we'll send you to the merchant. He lives north of here. His name is Orgulis Goldworthy. And you actually know of this, but you didn't know he was a merchant. You just knew him as a farmer that lives on the northern edge of the Shire, a little bit closer to the North Moors than most hobbits would be comfortable with.
What was his name?
Orgulis Goldworthy.
Orgulis?
Orgulis.
Orgulis.
Orgulas.
And where does he live?
He lives on the northern edge of the Shire, close to the North Moors. And they say he actually happens to be here in town selling some of his latest goods at market. So you should be able to find him, and he should be heading back up north soon.
Well, thank you very much.
I say, please, if you truly can help with this situation, we wish you all the best of luck.
Now we'll try our best. As long as the elf doesn't break out in the song, I think everything will be better.
And Merrick, we are counting on you as a member of this community to ensure that you keep the rest of them from doing any more damage to our fair land than they must.
Don't worry, I'll keep 2 eyes on them.
Thank you.
I'll be careful. Dwarf will just start burrowing into anything they find.
I'm a disturber of the peace.
And he's a disturber of the peace.
I'll take my axe to the table that they're sitting at.
Now this is where you say don't waylay us.
Yeah.
Now you got 2 tables.
All right. So yeah, you now have the location. It'll be about a day's journey north to get there.
But he's in town right now?
He's in town.
Let's go talk to him.
Yeah, let's go find him. I know him. We're like this. Just didn't know he was a merchant. If they just said, go find your good friend Orgolis, I could have done that.
So yeah, you go to find him, and he is at a stall. He has not only some crops out there, but he also has some of handmade crafts that he's selling at his stall.
Hiya, Gorlis.
Says Merrick, how be you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I got some traveling companions in the modern era. We want to talk to your friend. We hear that you know a elvish ranger somewhere up around your neck of the woods.
He kind of cautiously says, I know several people that make their way through those moors from time to time.
Well, we just need to be talking to him.
Says he's a bit of a reclusive fellow, not easy to get along with. May I ask you why?
Well, my friends here, we've been tasked with helping out with the Brandywine. And apparently he might be able to lead us to the source of the poison, stagnation, whatever you want to call it.
Suppose that makes sense, and it also explains why the elf is here. Although I must tell you, he doesn't much care for your folk. Not anymore.
Don't worry,
I don't.
the elf will sing a song for him.
It's okay. Neither do I.
Fair.
Ingratiate himself.
I don't know how he feels about dwarves either.
He loves them,
I
as does everyone.
don't know about that.
I can see why they both live in holes. I'll just put it at that.
Really asking for it, ain't
Speaks
you?
for itself.
He says,
Well, I'm actually composing this song, so if I keep hearing anything more about song, I'm literally going to sing it. I have the first verse done. On to the
he
chorus.
says to you, yeah, I am supposed to meet him sometime soon. I have a package for him that's going to need to be delivered. I suppose if you want.
Follow you back up north?
Yeah.
All right. When you leaving?
I'm actually finishing up here today. We'll give you a day to rest, and then we'll leave in the morning.
All right. We'll be at the Green Dragon.
All right.
Say, simple as.
All right.
Pie?
Everyone's gonna gang up and kill the elf by the end of this.
Just one more encounter ought to do it. If it goes like the last one.
That's the part of the books that no one talks about is I was there 6,000 years ago when they cut the ring off of Sauron's finger and then turned on the elves.
All right. So yeah, the rest of the evening you take your ease at the Green Dragon and do whatever you need to.
Gotta get your food counts up. All this 3 meals a day. Just wasting
Does
away.
endurance come back after resting?
Yes, it does.
When I took that wound, did I also take the associated endurance damage?
Yes, you should have taken the damage. Although after 2 days of rest, I believe that it's fully healed.
Yeah, it just didn't say like automatically do it. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if I didn't get it because I got wounded or what.
Yeah, normally it's a lessened amount. Like in endurance, I believe, gets fully restored after like a long rest. So like in a safe place, like the Green Dragon, it would be considered like a full rest, and that would give you all of it back unless you're wounded, in which case you get back your strength.
I don't
per
know
day.
if this place counts as safe for our friend Elf here.
No one will bother him in his room, and so he can rest at his ease. So
Then he's got to be alone with himself, and that's the most dangerous. To
I have a new song ready.
I didn't say anything about it.
I know. I'm just saying that's what I do when I'm by myself. Compose songs. Who, I actually kind of missed. Who are they talking to?
they were talking to the merchant who actually they didn't know was a merchant.
How does he know these things about me?
Which things?
That he said I didn't like people.
No, he said Finithala,
Oh,
the one you're
Finithala,
coming to
okay.
meet, doesn't like other elves.
Gotcha.
And is
Or
It doesn't
hobbits
like your
or
kind.
dwarves.
he doesn't like elves and may not like dwarves. He doesn't know
Oh, okay,
about
gotcha.
dwarves.
Typical elf, always making about themselves.
But yeah, then let's see. The next we'll do the journey phase.
What is this? This is where we determine.
Yep. Guide, hunter, lookout, scout choices for who does what.
Lookouts where my skills.
I think I was the
and-
hunter last time, and we nearly starved.
Yeah, I was the guide and the scout.
Yeah. Although you do have
But
a
now
fourth
we
member
have-
now that can
He can
take
be the
over some of
scout.
that.
John, what's your skill? I think it was.
Yeah, what's your travel and your explore?
My travel and explore both a 2
Okay.
awareness also factors in,
is a
Right.
2
and hunting.
is a
For
2
the
and preferred.
Guide, it's travel.
Yeah.
And you'll get a +1 for the first day. Well, actually, you get a +1 for both days because Argulus will be with you for the first day, and he'll give you directions for the second.
Now, can I also have a bonus for my useful item, which is a sunstone for traveling?
What
Or does that make it favored?
it would normally make it favored. What is a sunstone?
I don't know. It's just one of the examples it gave for a useful item for travel was a sunstone.
Okay, because those are meant to be circumstantial, where in some cases they give bonuses, in some cases they don't.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I have
So-
2 in awareness. I think that's the only one I have. Unless you want a rap battle, Travis.
Rap battle.
I got 2 in song as well.
Oh, sunstone to navigate in bad weather. So yeah, during bad weather you wouldn't get any penalties.
Okay.
But yeah, it's normal weather right now.
Yeah, I think I'm technically out of any traveling jobs.
All right, so yeah, the important one for guide is travel. For scouts is explore. Lookouts is awareness, and then hunters is hunting.
Because I have all of those skills at a 2.
Okay, are any of them check marked for?
Hunting is.
Okay,
There you go.
So can we have multiple people doing these jobs?
yeah, you can have
Okay.
multiple people doing the jobs, but there has to be at least one person in each of the job roles.
Ah, that was the problem. Okay. So do we have that now?
Well, I'm the guide.
So, yeah, we've got the guide.
I was a lookout because I had 3 pips and a check for awareness.
Okay, so we've got the lookout.
And then hunting would be John now.
Yeah, so
So
then
now you're a
scouts would be
scout?
explore.
I don't have explore, so looks like it's one of those where
Could I do scout and hunting?
So
Yeah, let's
well,
see.
you'd have to do scouting, and Chris would have to do hunting.
I think that's how it would end up
Oh.
working out.
Which one are you better at, Chris?
none. I'm
Oh.
actually better at awareness. Just that I'm not as good as Travis.
Yeah, for the most part, you shouldn't need to do much hunting since you're in a village and you can get all the supplies you need before you head out. So
What
unless something
about
goes
hunting
wrong,
hobbits? All right, I can do the explorer then.
the scout. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Brandon, if you want to roll your travel, we'll see if there's an event in the first day. So on the map, you're going to be traveling to here on the first day.
Okay.
So yeah, it's two hexes in normal terrain, but you've got a wagon with you with Argulus, which is going to slow you down a little bit, so you only get to move 2 at max.
All right. So here's my travel. And did you say we get any bonus? We got one bonus?
Yeah, 1 bonus for having him with you.
Okay, got a success.
All right. Yeah, nothing goes wrong the first day. You get to his house, and he puts together as he's putting together the package, his wife, puts together a meal for all of you, and he doesn't have enough beds for everyone, but there are some places where you can roll out a bedroll or something near the fireplace in his living area.
I've been a merchant guard for longer than I care to remember, so I'm used to sleeping rough.
So yeah, he says you can sleep outside with the pigs if you really want to.
That's your only option now.
But yeah, it's very hospitable. It's a fairly large farmhouse. It's got him and his wife and his children, and then he has a couple of his distant relatives that are also in some smaller homes around that help out. So that night passes uneventfully, and in the morning he presents you with a pack to take with you and a map that shows you a location up around here.
Okay.
Wow, that did something weird. That he usually goes to, lights a fire, and burns.
Is it the world map, John? Okay, we're at by Hobbiton. What is that? That's like the center of the map almost.
Yeah, right around the center.
Should be a purple check or arrow.
Yeah, it did something weird when I tried to delete this.
Like a little.
I guess we can try ping it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we'll just put it right there.
What is it? Was it shift ping, Travis, for the DM?
Yeah, it will drag everybody's screen to where you pinged. Could be control, but I always get confused. They seem to
Do you know how to
do it
ping?
willy-nilly.
No, how do you ping?
Hold down the left click on your mouse. There you go.
There you go.
All right. So yeah, you were leaving from around here. Why? So yeah, you're leaving from around there where his farm was. You're heading up here. He says the terrain starts to get pretty difficult, so it'll be rough going. You're gonna need to leave your ponies here. But yeah, he gives you the circumstances. You go to a certain place and you burn a certain type of plant that will produce a green smoke, and that will be the sign to him that his package has arrived.
All right. Well, thank you for guiding us this far.
Says, I wish you well and give him the best, and tell him try not to be angry with me for sending you, that it was for a noble cause. He's always been a very good client to me.
Will do.
All right. So once again, the travel phase. So another travel roll from Brandon. Once again with a bonus die.
Success.
Nice. So yeah, nothing untoward happens. Lenath, if you want to roll a lore skill, and
Sure.
Same with you, Burgil.
Feat success.
Nice.
So what does the check give me?
The check means that it's a favored roll. Nice.
Means what though?
The D12.
It's taken
Every
care
skill
of.
check, it's already taken care of. But every skill roll, you roll a D12. With that check mark, you take the best of the two, or you roll two and you take the best of those two as the base number, and then your skill ranks. Roll D6s and you add that in.
All right,
so
I got a great success.
So yeah, you can both point out as you're traveling through areas where there had been battles between the Rangers of the North and the forces of I keep wanting to say Nockmar, but that's Willow.
Anuminas?
No, not Numinous.
Angmar?
Angmar, yeah. So yeah, as you're traveling the land, like you're kind of geeking out a bit over traveling over the terrain and the locations
know-it-alls
that,
out here.
yeah.
Me and Burgle.
Yeah, and you two are discussing back and forth like all the different things. And Burgle mentioned, I found some old swords over here that had rusted, and then some orc corpses over here that had long decayed. And so yeah, you two are kind of nerding out together a bit as you travel through the area. But yeah, thanks to the well thought out travel route of Nur, son of Anur, he leads you to the location where the camp is. It's up on a hill, kind of a little bit on a plateau, a good view of the surrounding moors, and off to the north a little bit, you can see the lake of, why do I always forget this lake's name? Lake Evendim. So, after burning the weed that he gave you that sends up this plume of green smoke, and you just wait.
What time is it?
So you get there right around late afternoon.
Time for lunch.
Yeah. And then sometime as the sun is getting close to setting, make an awareness roll, or a scan roll.
Everybody?
Yep.
Okay.
Regular success.
I got a great success.
Scan or what?
Congratulations, Burgle.
Scan or awareness.
Thank you.
Let's see. We got there afternoon.
Success.
So afternoon tea. we're probably at dinner now. Maybe thinking about supper.
All right. So, yeah, Lenith and Nur, you start getting the feeling that something is watching you, or someone. Merrick and Berghill, you kind of see a little bit of motion, a little ways off.
I feel the eyes
even
of
with a
something
great
unseen on me.
success.
Yeah, that's what allowed you to actually see some motion off in the distance.
Is all what is it? I guess what is it? Just like some bushes or like foliage moving, or
Yeah,
like maybe think of it as like an animal, or
no, you just kind of see some underbrush move in a way that doesn't seem normal. It's
all right.
it's a little ways off, but
I'll grab some like go. Are we eating right now? Are we
I
eating
am.
another
The Hobbit
meal?
is.
Dinner.
All right. Well, I'll stand up and I'll head over towards the food, and if everybody's around there, then I'll just make a point to point out that there's something moving out in whatever direction I had seen it.
Okay. And Merrick, you're like, yeah.
Yeah. I'll just give him a nod. Oh yeah, been moving like that for a little bit. I don't really care as long as my dinner doesn't get interrupted, though.
As I'll steal a sausage before I leave. Then
I'll shoot him, murder it.
and I'll take that sausage over to the dwarf and tell him that there's something moving out in that direction.
Yeah. So, well, I had.
Yeah, you'd had that feeling of something watching you.
Yeah.
You didn't have a direction until he kind of pointed it out.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll look that direction, but then I'll just sort of surreptitiously, get my weapon shield close to hand and keep an eye on that direction.
Okay.
And then I'll take the sausage over to the elf since the dwarf didn't take it. And tell him the same thing.
Sausage.
As like offering it to him, as telling him to look to the northeast or whatever direction it came in.
Yeah.
As there's something moving through the foliage.
I have sensed it as well.
So what is it that we're burning that produces this green smoke?
It's just a weed.
And so how long does it produce the green smoke?
It'll produce the smoke for just about a minute as it burns, although
Okay.
you can always add more. But
Okay. But we've set it aflame.
yeah.
We did that a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it about an hour and a half ago.
At 11sies.
So make another roll. Same thing, awareness or scan.
Failure.
Failure.
Oh, that was
Everyone.
Virgo.
Damn.
Roll to failure.
You succeeded. I failured.
Yeah. So
Oh, I had one success.
yeah, Linnaith was the one that succeeded. So he's the one that actually sees the elf approach. You guys had seen the motion from the northwest, and so you guys had been focusing that direction. But when he actually arrives, Linnaith sees him coming from the direct west. And there's a little bit of a rise from that side of camp. So
I'll be looking to, what was it? John said the northeast?
yeah,
Or wherever it was.
Yeah.
And I'll be waiting for him to come that way. So he'll catch me off guard coming from the west. But yeah, I'll just be sitting there.
all right. So let's make this available.
Man. I had to try going on the Hobbit diet for like,
All right. So did
Yeah,
that pop up for you guys?
yeah.
It's like a bodybuilding diet.
Yeah. Yeah. Elf
Yeah.
on a horse.
So this was the closest image I can get to an elf that I wanted to view. He doesn't have a horse. He's just on his ground. But yeah, he walks up to the top of the rise and just stands there kind of eyeing you. He has his bow out. He has an arrow knocked, but he hasn't drawn it. But yeah, so an elf stands before you without the poise and reserve that most court elves pride themselves on. Rather, he stands with the casual comfort of someone at ease in their own home. Yet a slight grimace tinges his expression. His eyes measure each of you in turn, quick glances catching any movement as he considers you with an uncomfortably intense stare. Despite his relaxed atmosphere, any emotion on your part causes his hands to twitch on his bowstring with a practiced restraint, as each one of you is considered for threat, his eyes flashing a hunted look hidden deep within.
So
Man, I'm observant.
I'll take a bite of my sausage, and I'll kind of lean over to Noor, and I'll gesture off to the northeast. And I'm like, "When do you think he's gonna come out?"
Yeah.
So yeah.
I spotted him actually, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
when he first stepped up.
I'll greet him in the elf tongue, so I think it's like my Gavanen is what I'll say. Just well met, right? And I'll stand and I suppose bow in the direction that I saw him.
Okay. And so yeah, he says that, which draws the attention of the rest of you.
Yeah, that'll kind of perk me up, and I'll turn around
Yeah.
to the west.
I will do the same.
So yeah, he's standing there and he's looking over each of you in turn, and he doesn't respond to your greeting. He just says, "What are you doing here, and why did you burn the green smoke?"
I'll put down my dinner and kind of wipe my hands off real quick on my tunic. I'll be like, oh dang, what's his name? Elf that sent us.
Isildur?
Isildur.
Isildur and Bree sent us to find you to help with the brandywine. We got something that's supposed to cure the stagnation, and we need you to guide us to where it is, sir. Elf friend.
Okay. So he says, "I'm not sure I want to help you.
Why wouldn't you, though?
I've been hunting the orcs in this area that
We can hunt some orcs on our way up to where the source of the poison is.
says, and what are you, fair folk, doing with these barbarians here?"
I kind of got roped into it. My herd's been dying. All the sheep been taken sick because they've been drinking from the brandywine.
He's a hobbit, Stan?
Yeah, he likes hobbits.
Fight the power.
But yeah, we're gonna enter into like another council session.
All right.
Hobbiton forever.
So yeah, whoever wants to go.
This is Hobbiton.
So whoever wants to take the lead on this one, make the roll for how long you have.
Well,
We're gonna give the elf a -1 if he tries to.
yeah.
And we'll give the
I would say the Hobbit because he's had success in getting him to answer his actual questions. When the elf talked to him, he just asked a question of his own.
We never give answers. We're just only questions.
We're a lot of riddles.
Well, they have that. I think Frodo says you never ask an elf for advice because they'll give you both yes and no, basically, to the. Yeah. So it's just a bunch of confusion. No wonder he hates himself.
So yeah, what is it? Was riddle one of the ones that we can use for the opening?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So why wouldn't you help us? Right? I mean, it's kind of like we're in a bit of a bind if you don't.
All right. Make your roll.
+1. See a success.
All right. So yeah, he's only a resistance level 3. So with that success, you'll have 4 rounds to try to convince him amongst all of your attempts.
I guess I'll go last.
So who wants to take the first?
Let's see, what was it?
Maybe I
Riddle.
should go first so
Yeah,
you
he-
can dig us out of the hole. I
What
guess.
was it? Enhearten, riddle, persuade.
Not
Um,
but
it's-
or song.
Yeah, and Hearten, Insight, Persuade, Riddle, and Song.
Sitting on the edge of the brandywine shore, thinking Hobbiton's such a bore. That's your song. I'm helping you out here, friend elf. So I'll be in the background.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably all I can contribute is I can start, start sharpening my axe and sing a song.
Well, he's been talking about killing orcs
I've
too.
killed, a song about battling orcs and
Okay. Go ahead and give it a shot.
Anur's gonna have to make some bodies grow cold.
Wait, do it. Do a duet on this one right now.
yeah, can you?
That fits the rap reference too.
No, that's what the 4 different rounds are about. Is usually
I guess you just
different
have
people
to,
making their different
to
arguments.
sing me in.
Can I use a
Nurji, and
a
what was the
hope
other one?
for a bonus die?
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, he kind of has a strange response to your talking about, fighting, the enemy and the orcs and things. He says, I expect no different from a dwarf. They're almost as bloodthirsty as some of the elves when it comes to orcs.
Almost.
Nobody is as bloodthirsty as the elves.
I'll just give him a grin. Almost.
He says, I've lived here quite a while. I see no reason to help you. I could perhaps take care of this problem on my own. Why should I help you?
Well,
Okay. So next round.
all right. Well, that guy whose name I can never remember,
Ithildur.
Ithador, he gave us something to help with it. We've come a long way.
So have I. He doesn't have he's not a hobby. He doesn't have that accent. He says,
Well, you've lived here long enough. You've gone native. It's all right. We accept you.
I don't much care for Ithildur. I've seen what truly lies in his heart.
Dang. What do we got here?
Well, my song's going to be called We're Aimed at the Same Thing, Dum Dum. I'm ready to fire it off. I'll burn this whole forest down.
So go ahead, roll your song, and
Lanai's got to regulate.
My name is Lanai, then I won't be blithe. Okay, here we go. Have a -1.
yeah.
Come on, Eye of Sauron. What's going on? There we go. How'd I do?
You failed.
Failed.
Failed figures.
Well, it's not Eye of Sauron.
So do you want to read your song?
No, I didn't write that one.
Okay.
That was the song I gave to the hobbits.
So yeah, he says, I'm well aware of our legends and the history of these lands. I've wandered here longer than most have been alive.
Oh, we got one more attempt?
2 more.
Yeah, so what would it be? Burgle? Would he have something to...
You got anything to add on this one, Burgle?
I think he went to change his laundry over.
Oh.
Merrick, did you want to make a roll on?
Oh, yeah.
And you do get a +1.
I was just trying to justify keep rolling that riddle. It's one of those. I'm going to go for it if you let me.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay.
All right.
Success! Congratulations, Merrick.
So yeah, as one of the things you do, you say, we did bring your pack.
Mm.
So he says, all right, thank you. And, he pulls out a small package and hands it to you. And he says, this was to be my payment for...
Ergolis is awfully sorry that he told us where you were. He wanted to make sure you knew. He apologized. If his, what is it? He's a merchant, I guess. So
Yeah, he's a
if
farmer.
he's able to keep living where he is, with the river being how it is.
So yeah, no, it actually works. Like you speaking to him about the hardships that the hobbits are going through because of the river seem to have affected him. And he thanks you for the pack, and he says, I suppose hard times should give a little bit of leeway on the secrecy that he and I had agreed to on my location. So you got one more round. So put your best foot forward.
Yeah, I guess I'll do...
Sing your song.
I would not sing again unless I had no other
16
choice.
in the clip and 1 in the hole.
Riddle. That's the
Naru
best I
dog had
got.
to make some noise.
If you don't listen to
Sorry.
me, Elf, I'm going to shoot my short rounds at you.
Failure. I'm not helping here. I
All
leave.
right. So that was the last shot. He says, I'm sorry, I will not get involved. I thank you for delivering my package, but
All
I'm
right.
afraid I must go. I'll give you one piece of advice. I had seen some orcs near the northwest shore of the Lake of Evendim. That seems to be where the poison is, or this foulness is entering the lake, though you'll have to discover its true source.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, and he kind of points to, a rock to the north, to the northern shore of the lake. You can kind of see it from your vantage point. He says that's
Of like what?
Lake Evendim.
Fine. We'll find some orcs and get it out of them.
So,
Yeah, it's almost time for supper. Can't leave right now.
Yeah, he turns and leaves.
I now understand your intense and unabiding hatred for elves.
You see?
You were right.
See the way he's got his nose up? Like he's so much better than us.
It's all right, Lanai. We
He's-
accept you.
He's above the struggles of us slow folk.
Literally and figuratively.
It ain't right.
So yeah, he
I bet he walks on top of the snow.
he points to a location up there. You do a travel roll real quick, Brandon. Actually, everyone can do a travel roll if they want.
Might as
great
well.
success.
Failure. Nice, I rolled a 0. Oh, that's because I don't have any pips. That's right.
Yeah.
Feat success. Good
Feat
job,
success.
Burgle.
Man,
All right.
Success.
my stats were not meant for how I spec'd them at all. Like, I should have probably been like travel exploration, because that 14 is like, that's the lowest target
Is
number I
that
got.
kind of how first characters go?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I rolled these ones out, so
Yeah.
they were meant to be a little bit like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Nur and Burgil, you both know that with the terrain the way it is, it'll likely take you depending on how well you do, it may even take 3 days to get there.
Okay.
Mm.
So 3 days travel.
Yep.
Unless we quickly build canoes out of the surrounding trees and go straight across the lake. That probably would take longer.
To build a canoe, I'd expect so. Yeah. How long does it take?
A long time. Like 100 years.
They had to pass they were just aging and tempering
Yeah.
the wood. Pass it down.
Well,
the
some
ways.
dude actually just got bored and was like scooping wood out of it just because he was bored. And then someone came by and said, "Hey, that'll float." And then off we go.
His name was Bob Canoe.
That's historical fact right there. All right. So it'll take 3 days, I reckon, to get there. So let's get some sleep tonight and set off in the morning.
Start looking at my pack full of food. Will it last?
Our hunter might need to hunt.
Yeah, you're
I
not
gonna-
sure.
Am I gonna wake up short of leg?
But you always underestimate how long food's gonna last, because you look at everybody as if they're gonna eat as much as you, and so
I'll wipe the sweat from my brow and start eyeing my companions.
but
Shit. If that elf was really on the 7 breakfasts for being such a hobbit, Stan, you should have grabbed his stuff. Probably that's what would have exposed them, because it still would have been leaves and such.
Some bread.
You're not doing the 7 breakfasts right.
all right. So what's the
I think we're.
watch order?
Oh, yeah, watch order. I will.
I can first
take
watch.
second.
Okay.
There we are. I'll take 3.
I guess I'll take morning watch, because I have to start probably cooking for one of my 7 meals.
You cook one and then prep the other, and then cook that one. Yeah.
All right. So
Why hobbits have such big families? It's all just a line of sous chefs and whatnot, keeping everything prepped.
Leaves you 4 hours of productivity a day.
Burgil and the ninth do an awareness roll.
Failure.
Great success.
All right. So Burgil, you've come through this area before, and so you kind of had heard about this event happening from time to time. But as you're looking over the lake to the north during your watch, you
Hey, Justin, what did Wounded do? Did it give me a penalty?
normally it'll give you penalties to some things, yeah, but not everything.
Also, what sets our target number in this case? The difference between me and Burgle.
I want to say it's the attribute.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, your attribute.
Yeah, like my heart's a 14, so like...
So this is against my strength, I guess?
Yeah. So John, I don't know why it keeps doing this, but it makes the font like really tiny. I don't know if it pops up like that for you. But as you're
In
looking,
what?
On the map?
did that pop up for you?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Is the font tiny for you as well?
It sure is.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it does that, but for some reason,
It's all
this
right. I
one-
can zoom in.
Yeah. So as you're looking north to the lake, you see a lone tower standing up out of the water, as if it was a single spire from a long lost watchtower that goes down underneath into the lake, and of it. It's actually long been kind of legend as the only last remaining piece of a numinous that stands above the water. But you see lights around it, and a legend is brought to mind. Some say that if one climbs to the tower to look upon the shores of Lake Evendim, on starry, moonless nights they can hear a song drifting over its still water, a dirge both mournful and beautiful. The strange, ghostly ships with the high sails appear at the edges of the vision, drawing ever closer to the tower, but never reaching it. Then they vanish on the mist-swept surface of Lake Evendim. So you see these, ghost images of these ships that look like they're at full sail, and you swear you can hear the sound of crying coming from the north.
All right, I will. Does it seem like it's very far north?
It's a few hundred yards out into the middle of the lake. And yeah, you're about a half a day's journey from the edge of the lake, maybe a little less than a half a day. But yeah, this is something that you've never actually seen happen. You had heard legends of something similar, but yeah, and you had never heard legend of the sound of the crying, like the ships, the ghost ships had been seen before, but never the sound.
Okay. How long ago was it that I was, or how long do I have left until my watch is over?
This happens, so you're on second watch, and this happens right around midnight, so you're not too far into your watch.
Okay. Well, I kind of want, knowing that he is into this type of lore, this is a sight that Lanath shouldn't miss. So I will wake him and
Lanide.
and
that
give him
sausage pointed in my face again.
no sausage free this time.
Okay.
But yeah, wake him and explain that little bit of lore to him, and point off in the direction of the ships.
And then, if you want to roll your lore.
Sure.
You don't sleep though, right?
I was trying to remember if that was a D&D thing or... So I got a great success.
Okay.
One great success.
Yeah, with that, that there usually isn't any sound associated with this. Like you'd heard rumors of this image appearing near the tower, but you'd never heard anything about the sounds, except that it had happened once before during the Great War against the enemy.
Yes, in that case, a shadow will fall over my face. An owl flew by in the night, and I'll be like, I've only heard tell of this sound appearing once before, and that was during the Great War with the enemy.
Can I do a lore as well?
Sure.
Normal success. Have I heard the same?
You had heard stories about the ghost ship, so yeah, you knew that part, but you hadn't
Not
heard
the
the part
sound.
about the sounds.
Is this something that we should be worried about? What else can you tell me about the sound?
It just sounds like the moaning of ghosts, of people crying out. I mean, you're both aware of the history of Numinous, that it was a center city for the Rangers of the North and the Duundin, and that in a year of great flooding after it had gone into decline, the lake rose to cover the entire city, and everybody had to leave. Everyone evacuated and found other places to live, and the only piece left was that tower, and for some reason it became a focal point for the spirits that were lost in battles and the time of calamity.
Yeah. So
Is this something of is this an evil thing?
but here's my yes or no answer then, as I'll be like, well, It could be the restless spirits of a people who had great sorrow, or it could be tied to the shadow. I don't know. We'll have to find out. I think we can't ascertain that from here, though, Burgle.
Well,
Although if I were a betting elf that does this sound from this tower, is that by that rock you were pointing out? So I didn't get where you located this tower. Or is it where we're camping?
No, just to the north. Like you can see it on the map.
how
So
far
we're
away is
here,
it?
And it's that little thing that's sticking up by where it says Anuminas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little spire in the middle of the, like at the bottom side of the lake. Yeah, that ping spot.
Well, there's a lot of tragedy about Anuminas. The Dunedain were one of the few to resist Angmar, the Witch King.
Are we close enough to go explore it, or is that too far away?
You could go there tomorrow. At this point, since it's the middle of the night, it would take you until the morning to get there.
Okay.
Yes, I would caution that if we are to see the spirits of the dead, we should wait till the full light of day.
But yeah, after watching it for about an hour, the spirits seem to almost sink down into the lake. So it's kind of moved on into the later part of your watch now, Linnaeus, and you can see the very beginning rays of sunshine starting to lighten the east.
Well, I think Merrick's up about that time too to start making his breakfast.
Yeah, first breakfast.
And while he's busy with that, I will go and rouse the other members of the party so that we can begin our journey again.
Okay.
And I will pass on the story of what we witnessed at night, Burgle and I.
Okay. So yeah, whatever you guys want to do.
Do you, Noor and Merrick, do you want to check out the restless spirits of dead Dunedain?
Can't say that I do.
Much could be learned, but much would be... What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, well.
Much could
Risk.
be lost.
Much would be risked, yes.
Probably better to just not risk it. It's bad enough we're heading towards orcs. Sausage.
Quit putting sausage in my face. I am inclined to agree with the Hobbit. It would be a risky venture. Noor? I'm trying to say it right.
Yeah, let's stay on about our business.
All right.
Could be treasure there, though.
Perhaps after we're done.
Barrow white daggers.
Perhaps after we've completed our task, we can swing by there.
We murdered some people on a bridge. We need treasure now.
Isn't the treasure the friends we make along the way? Which we're not gaining any here.
It's all barbs all the way down. All right.
Well, if you're the elf.
It looks like if you want to check it out, Burgle, you're outvoted, so you'll need a good argument to get the rest of us to go along.
I don't have any social skills, so...
Either do I. That's why we're gathered around this table pretending to...
Other than the fact that I'm a ranger from the north, so you guys would be dishonoring me and my ancestors if we don't go check it out.
That's true. I mean, that he doesn't have anything that would make him want to look at it. Because aren't the rangers, the modern day rangers, descendants of the old Dunedain?
And his lore comes from him actually traversing the land around here. So,
Right.
Yeah, he has wandered by and he has
Sounds
like heard of this.
passing to
but-
me.
But nothing in your knowledge, Burgle, that would shine the light of golden treasure?
Mm.
I don't know, what would that be? You want me to roll a lore or something?
Yeah, you could roll a lore.
More lore.
Should I use a hope to strengthen the odds of treasure?
Yeah, maybe you'll find us a magic item.
And that just gives me a bonus die?
Yeah.
I gotta start using hope.
A great
Yeah,
success.
It's a one shot. Might
So
as well
great
burn
success.
Right.
Yeah, with the success, you know that over the decades, people have picked Numinous pretty clean, with the exception of the tower. Although there are a lot of superstitions around the tower about those ghosts haunting it, and that every once in a while, lights can be seen at the top of the tower when the ghosts are visible. But yeah, part of you is hesitant to even try to go there because it is kind of a sacred side of your history.
All right. Well, I will relay that then. Is that there's treasure in the tower, probably.
I like how that's the words he used.
But
Treasure in tower.
yes.
I like how you kind of see him talking himself out of it as he's going, though, based on the rolls.
Well,
The city's been picked pretty clean, but with the tower and especially with those voices that we heard last night, most people tend to avoid it. As I would like to see the city or the towers, but
perhaps when our business is done, Virgil, you and I may travel there together.
I would like that, friend. Clasp your forearm with the sausage.
Oh, I was going to say I had the sausage in my hand now. We both just slipped each other the sausage.
I'm becoming rather distraught if you're not going to eat them.
They can't be handling them like that.
By the end of this journey, everybody's packs will be full of sausages.
All right.
Don't ask where I got the meat from.
Well, friend dwarf, it seems our course is set
Yes.
to the
let's
rock.
Be on
to
our
the
way.
north.
All right. So once again, make your travel check.
Oh, man.
Great success.
Nice.
All right.
So I was reading about that.
So yeah, you actually make it pretty close to where your location, where he had pointed to. You managed to find a good route down to the beach of the Lake Evandim, and you traverse along the shores for a while until you come up along some cliff faces, and then that forced you to kind of break off. But from your vantage point at your last camp, you managed to plot out a good course. As you do get close to the lake, you can see ruins of stone buildings just underneath the water, even to the point where you can see streets and lanes where traffic would have been, but all of it is now covered in moss and various plants that have grown over it over the last few decades. But yeah, one of these paths actually leads up to a small trail that goes up and around the cliffs. So yeah, you make really good time. But there is always an event that happens for every travel session. So let's see who the lucky person is to get that event.
Hobbits get all the luck.
3, which means it's the lookout.
Oh, that's me.
Yep. So
Awareness.
yep.
Failure.
All right. And
Should
then
I
I
use
do.
Forgot about it. I'm so bad at consumables. I do that in role-playing games. Causes me grief.
6. All right. So your roll failed, so it adds 1 day to the length of the journey, and the target gains 1 additional point of fatigue,
Oh, goodness.
and everybody else gets 2 points of fatigue.
So I get one addition in addition to what?
In addition to the 2. So everybody gets
Oh.
2 points of fatigue. So it's a mishap. So we'll say that as you're heading up the trail, you're kind of trying to head up towards a vantage point where you can get a good lookout to make sure there's nobody, either following you or ahead. And it ends up causing a rock slide. And of course, being an elf, you just kind of surf your way down, but it blocks your path. So you're going to have to find a longer way around to get to the location that had been mentioned.
Well done, Elf.
Sorry. Sorry,
Supposed
boys.
to be light on your feet.
I'm trying to rise above it, but
So yeah, next travel roll.
I don't know what to say. Hat in hand, gentlemen. Hat in hand.
I'll cast a worried glance at my backpack full of food.
All right.
It's only
So that
got-
failure kind of goes in line with his mishap. Yeah, you had seen the path, didn't realize quite how unstable it was, so now you have to backtrack a ways to get up and around where it is. And then we'll do another event.
But now you've gotten us lost.
You told me to go that
2.
way, dwarf. I'm
So-
not the guide.
I didn't tell you to knock them out.
You said go
guy.
up there and look, because you're a lookout. And so I'm like, I'm a lookout. I'm going to go up there and look.
All right. So this time the event is for the scout. So roll your explorer.
I'm gonna have to start looking for sweet berries for you guys. So I can start sweetening the meat. We are near a lake. There should be fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a cursed lake, though. Do you want to eat cursed fish? It's also probably stagnant.
So John, I think you were going to be the scout.
Sorry, thought Brandon had just rolled something. What am I rolling? Explore?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Oh, things are going bad. All right. So as you're trying to pick your way through the rubble, a boulder shifts and rolls over your leg,
Oh, no.
and your leg is now wounded. So you'll check the wounded
I'll
bar.
find us a way through.
We'll do. Where's the wound table?
Dude, you're doomed.
Did you set it up in roll 20?
It should. No, I don't think I did.
I see feet, normal
Yeah,
and weird.
feet, travel, hazard. Yeah, I don't think I got the wounded table set up.
They're pretty easy. They're just a matter of time, like most of the things. I feel like I got a job in data entry.
Yeah, there was a lot of copying, pasting.
Yeah.
All right, there it is.
And they really kind of encourages you never to set up separate games. Just want to keep everything in one, because tables don't transfer over easily.
So yeah, this is a pretty serious wound. It is caused a severe gash down the lower part of your leg, and makes it difficult for you to walk. And everybody has to stop to dig you out in order to get this boulder to shift, and it causes a little bit more damage as they manage to roll it off your leg. But if there's someone with healing, then they can make a check to.
Yeah, I got 2 pips and the check mark. I can, once we get them clear, I can take a crack at it.
Yeah, if anybody else has one, we'll let them make a roll.
To just one roll. You can't have like multiple people stack up on it.
We'll let secondary people make a roll, and if they succeed, then
Just take the best.
give a bonus die to whoever's primary.
Okay.
Get out of here with that pansy medicine elf. He needs dwarven healing.
Let's see, mine. Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Nice.
Oh,
It's a good
Well
thing I'm not Fenrith, or you'd be put down right now, John.
Nice. All right. So yeah, you can eliminate that wound modifier just between Merrick and Lenaith.
Thank you.
Yeah, they both just immediately know exactly how to bind it and treat it so that it no longer bothers you.
Hand him a sausage.
and I stuff sausages into the wounds on his leg.
Sausages fix everything, right?
And the hobbit medicine.
It cures them. It cures the meat.
All right.
The sausage
yeah.
will take the load off your bones.
You know, actually, if I'm worried about my food, I'd probably give you a bunch of herbs that would be used for like making meat fragrant, or like for sausage making. Wrap his leg in this, friend.
Wait a second. Are you preparing for when you run out of food?
All right. Yeah, so let's do one more travel roll.
Oh, good lord, we're gonna die.
Go.
What time is it?
This is the next day, so that took an entire day to
Noor.
get around
Noor.
the rock slide.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we had a rough day yesterday. So I'll use a hope to get a bonus on my travel.
Is it only one hope per bonus, or can we get multiples?
No, just one hope at a time.
Great success.
All right.
Good job, dude.
So yeah, the next day, we'll roll.
If I buy hope bonuses in bulk, do I get a discount on the price?
No.
Oh.
All right. So, yeah, you actually make it there by midday the next day instead of taking the full day. And from here, you can see that there's like a cliff face that leads down into the water. And at the base of it, you can see this foulness almost bubbling up from underneath.
When does hope come back, or how is it restored?
It's kind of like sanity from Call of Cthulhu. It comes back during a rest phase in between adventures. And if your hope gets too low, then you start having penalties.
What's too low? Half?
No, if you see...
If your shadow gets higher,
Yeah, if your shadow, like bad things happen, that
you
eventually give you shadow points. And if your hope drops below your shadow points, then you become what they consider miserable, and you start getting penalty dies. Or not penalty dies. Numbers 1 through 3 on your skill die count as zeros.
Yeah.
All right. So now that you're here, you see where this is coming in, but you don't see like a river or a stream or anything going in.
Bubbling up out of the ground.
Yeah.
So it's like a
So
underwater river feeds this lake
yeah,
from the mountains.
yeah.
But I had thought that this was
Orcish encampment with the...
well, right. So they wouldn't be camped by the lake, then they would be camped somewhere. But we can't follow
Somewhere
What's-
underground?
what feeds this lake because it goes underground. So, what ideas do you guys have to find what would feed this lake?
Might be a cave system.
Perhaps.
Not that I'd know. I don't like leaving the Shire.
So you, Lenith and Burgle, you can do a lore,
For the area.
yeah, for the area. Burgle, you could do an explore to kind of show your knowledge of the area and the terrain. One of you could do an insight. Yeah, we'll have that.
What about scan? Can I get scan?
Well, let's let the other ones roll through and then see.
Sorry, you said we could do, as I probably missed my chance at it here.
Lore,
If we
explore, or insight.
Okay, as if it comes up with the opportunity again, I'll end up doing explore.
Yeah, do the explore.
All right, I'm gonna use a hope as well.
Okay.
A success.
Okay. So yeah, after traveling through this area, you and Lenith are talking about these kinds of underground springs, and you know that it's actually fairly common in this area for rivers or streams to hit a place where there is no exit for the stream, and it will find a soft spot in the earth and go underground. So it's very possible that this stream or this water source could come above ground and go back below multiple times before it actually reaches the lake. Here's where Merrick can do his scan if you want, or anyone can do a scan or awareness check if you want to take a look. And John, you could also do an explore for this next one.
Use a hope.
Extraordinary success.
There you go.
Okay, I saw John's.
All right, so yeah, you two are talking, and Merrick is kind of overhearing this, and he just kind of points up into the forest nearby, and he says, "Do you suppose that waterfall, or yeah, you see a waterfall, like just a small waterfall?" And I'll let you.
Oh, yeah, I'll just kind of gesture with my fork. I'll be, something like a waterfall or something? Like right over there? Through them trees?
Yeah.
Genius. That's it.
Genius.
Grab a sausage and go.
I'll poke at Burgle's leg How's that doing for you?
Need a sausage or two more, I think.
All right. And sure enough, right where he points, you can see, like, in between a couple of trees, there's what looks like a small stream going off of a very low break in the rocks and then disappearing down into the forest.
All right. Well, let's go check it out.
Okay. I'll give you a half a day's ride, but this time it's going to take an explore check to find a path through, because this is going to be a little bit different from overland travel.
Okay.
But a travel can give a bonus die to him on a success.
All right. I'll do my travel.
What's everybody's
Feat
explorer?
Success.
You're the one, I believe.
Untrained.
Okay.
Explorer.
So yeah, and Brandon's travel will give you a bonus die. So yeah, you two are looking at the terrain and kind of pointing things out. And
I got a great success.
all right, yeah, you guys can easily find a path up to where that waterfall is by the end of the day. But yeah, as you get to that point, you get to the bottom of this little cliff, and it's only about 20 feet high. It is starting to get down to darkness, so it will require you to camp for the night.
Okay. Good a place as any.
Yeah. The next morning, everyone roll an awareness. So yeah, watches pass uneventfully overnight.
I successed my aware.
I failed mine.
Wow.
Ooh.
The night.
I've succeeded.
That dude's paying
Gonna have
attention.
to stop making fun of him. He's gonna catch everything we say.
So yeah, Newer and Burgill, you both smell smoke when you wake up in the morning, even though your campfire is not. Like you just catch the faint whiff of like a campfire. Leninth, you actually see some shimmerings on the tree that look like campfire underneath a.
Well, I can pinpoint it.
Yeah.
Like the actual trees off in the distance.
Yeah, and it's a ways up into the mountains, and it looks like there are a few more rises that you have to go up. But yeah, you can actually point out exactly where this light's coming from, and you see a faint wisp of smoke coming up through the trees as well.
Okay. Well, I guess we all see which direction to go in, but with a couple of rises, we're maybe an hour or two.
With the terrain, it's about a half a day.
Oh.
Is what you're thinking.
Us elves have a hard time with
Well, maybe
time.
if you weren't slowed down.
Right.
But with your extraordinary success, you also smell a bit of rankness to the smoke. Like
Orcs, fires.
that's what pops into your head.
Keep your weapons ready, friends. Orcs are near.
All right, so we'll do one more travel and explore pair to see if you guys have any difficulties.
Hey,
getting
does our
there.
fatigue go away at any point?
Not until you actually do a full rest back in a safe location. So that's part of the dangers of journeying, is your fatigue builds up until it starts to wear you down in combat.
There's my successful travel.
Okay, so Burgill,
Successful explorer.
All right. So yeah, you can make it up there by about midday, up to the tier of the land that I was having it.
Given that we know perhaps what's here, can we approach with caution?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
We should.
We are getting close to the end of the day. There's something coming up that may take a little
Oh,
while.
right. Combat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a good place to end it if you want to, right? Before maybe get a spot of something first. Maybe we can see something.
Yeah, do an awareness, or let's see what else.
Scan.
You can do a scan, or I'll even allow a hunting.
Got a great success
Oh, how do I fail at hunting?
because you didn't roll the target number.
I got an extraordinary success.
Okay. So yeah, you found kind of it's almost like a chasm that leads into a cliff face that it appears to be the location that Lenaith had pointed out before. And Lenaith and Noor, you hear the sounds of the black speech coming from up in that chasm.
Not good.
And that is where we will end it for the day.
Nice. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Been pretty fun so far.
Thanks,
I really
Justin.
like the way they do the journey part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
I actually kind of like the council stuff too. It made
Yeah,
it,
that was all pretty cool.
it like streamlined all the BS that we get into with D&D kind of.
This has been a Deathwatch production. Thank you for listening.